to your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. I'm your host, Maddie Evans, and we love getting to be here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to bring you some, and Monday, great community information about some activities that you can get out there and participate in. Now, we've got a great show in store for you. We're going to introduce you to Katie Wing from the Park City Film Series. Now, if you're looking for something great to do here locally, well then Park City Film is something you're never going to want to miss out on. We're going to take a step into the kitchen and we're going to make a delicious latte at home, which is a great resource on saving some money. Wasatch Weekend starts right now. If you're looking for something fun to do here locally and maybe experience some new film, well then the Park City Film Series has got you covered. Julio had a chance to catch up with Katie Wing from the Park City Film Series about some of their incredible activities, so let's hear what she has to say.
Summer is in full swing now, and if you're looking for something to do, Park City Film has got you covered with movie screenings happening throughout the entire summer, and most of them, if not all of them, are family friendly for everyone to enjoy. And to give us the update on what's happening over the next few days and the next month, really, is Executive Director Katie Wing, as always, with everything happening in Park City Film. Katie, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing? How's your summer going?
This is going very well. Thanks for having me. It's great to see people outside enjoying the sunshine, and we've got some cooler weather here in Park City, so that's kind of nice in the evening time so that the daytime's highs seem a little more manageable. I was just in LA for a couple days, and it was, when it's 90 in the morning and 90 at night, it's, a little intense.
Oh no, I feel you. I prefer that cooler weather in the mountains. We get some sunshine during the day, but then, like you said, evenings are a little cooler, and definitely perfect time to enjoy some film screenings, which are happening, throughout the summer. You guys are in your summer schedule, if we can call it that, which as you have mentioned in the past, it's kind of not as regular as you kind of do in the winter, but there's still screenings throughout the entire summer. So tell me what is happening this weekend.
So it's been really fun. So summer mode, as you mentioned, it's a little bit of a different schedule, a little more eclectic, and we get to go outside, which is really fun. So a little tough in the wintertime. I mean, possible, but perhaps a little bit chilly.
Yes.
So we've been partnering with Park City Library and Basin Recreation for probably the last 5 years, maybe 6 years. It's kind of hard to tell. These days, sometimes it just seems like forever because it's been such a great partnership. But what's been fun about our partnership with them is that we get to go outside, but we're next to the Park City Library. So we're going to be on the patio. So if you're familiar with the Park City Library layout, when you come in, there's a great coffee shop where Lucky Ones is, and they have a great patio overlooking the lawn, basically, the grassy area there, which used to be the old football field. And so we put up an inflatable screen there and show some great films, bring community members together, and it's always a really fun time. So kicking off that particular part of our series with the Park City Library and Basin Rec is Kung Fu Panda 4 this year.
Love that.
And so that'll be on July 12th. This is going to be an 8:45 screening because it's an inflatable screen and not LED. We have to wait till the sun goes behind that hill there.
Yes.
So that's dusk, which is about 8:45 this time of year. And this is the story, if you're not familiar, the latest installment of the Kung Fu Panda series, where Po, the big panda, is tapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. So he must find and train his replacement. But of course, meanwhile, there's a wicked sorceress who is planning to resurrect all of the villains that Poe has previously vanquished to the spiritual world. So lots of fun and adventure, very clever script writing, just a fun series. Jack Black does such a great job of embodying Kung Fu Panda. I mean, he's just such a great character. But fun way to bring the family together, do not worry if you haven't seen the other Kung Fu Pandas. What's great about these series is that you can, they do a good job in the beginning of kind of catching you up. So you kind of quickly get up to speed with what's happening and just can enjoy a great story with your friends and family. It's PG, so certainly younger film lovers are welcome to come and join it, and we hope that they will. It will have free admission, of course, and free popcorn. So bring your popcorn bowl, or we've got bags for you, that's fine. But do bring low back chairs or blankets to sit on, because there's limited seating out there. We've got some, patio furniture that we use, for the daytime series and on the patio there. And also, of course, the temperatures are dropping at night. So depending on what it looks like, the weather looks like next week, in the next couple of weeks, bring a blanket, bring a jacket, because it will cool down and, after the sun goes down. But just a really fun adventure. And then the next night, we are headed over to Colville.
Okay.
So if you want a little more outdoor adventure, we got you covered. So on the 13th, we are going over to Colville, but this time we'll be at the Colville Middle School, so North Summit Middle School. So just next to the Colville Fairgrounds where we were last year, but great location there, huge lawn, beautiful, slope, where everyone can spread out and relax. So we'll be showing how to train your dragon. And this is the first installment of that series, because I think personally, it's my favorite. The best is where you get to meet Hiccup, the young Norse teenager who befriends Toothless, the dragon. But just a great story, kind of coming of age story. Hiccup is kind of a misfit in his community, just a little bit odd, a little bit quirky, and tries to do all the things that make him be a good Norse person, fighting dragons. And then, of course, when he befriends this injured dragon, that changes his whole trajectory. But just a great story for people to rally around. And if you're not familiar with the series, this one's definitely the best. So come see this one. That'll be 7 o'clock, because we're using an LED screen, so we can start before dark. Free admission, but also free food. So we're partnering with Summit County Health, and they're amazing at just bringing the community together in such a beautiful way. So the film will not only be, a great screening for families, it's subtitled in Spanish. So we certainly invite all of our Spanish-speaking members of the community to join us for the film.
Awesome. But
they want to bring families together to have a meal, right? Just kind of come together, have a meal, enjoy some entertainment together, great conversations. So we'll have 2 free food trucks, Dos Hermanos and Mr. Cluckers. So come a little bit early. Food trucks start at 5:30. Grab some food, have a picnic, bring some blankets, low back chairs, same deal. It'll be warmer, of course, because we'll be starting earlier. But again, you want to make sure you're comfortable, and just a great space out there to spread out. We did a screening a couple weeks ago in Hennifer, and the kids were kind of playing in the background and then coming back and having food and watching the movie. And it's great being outside, because, young ones have a lot of energy, and it's great for them to be able to run around, but also see what's going on and still participate, where the parents get a moment to just kind of relax, not have to make dinner for an evening, and just have a good time with their family. But parkcityfilm.org for both of those films. They're both free. We do have registration if you'd like to register in advance, but it's certainly not required. We'd love to have you join us. Plenty of space.
Yes, absolutely. Who doesn't love free food and free movies, Katie? And something about outdoor films and kind of being outside, as it gets dark and then the movie starts playing and you're outdoor, you've got your blankets, you've got your snacks. Something about that just hits different. So I love that we're able to do that all summer long and enjoy the outdoors and enjoy these free screenings.
Absolutely. And what's so beautiful, one, Park City Library Lawn, but also Colville, they're kind of in parts of the community where you can see the stars, right? There's a lot of ambient light. So you really get that experience of just being outdoors and just appreciating where we are. And certainly for the east side of our community, it's great to engage all of our community members on the east side, but also we would love to welcome folks from the west side to come on over, maybe see a part of town that you haven't been to before, or you've only been to maybe the fair, experience at a different time of year. It's so beautiful out there, and just really a unique part of our community. So both of those are really fun screenings.
Great opportunity. That'll be July 12th and 13th, Kung Fu Panda 4, and then How to Train Your Dragon, both family-friendly classics that you can't miss out, and just a great opportunity to get out there with the entire family. Now, Katie, I also know that later this month, Spirited Away is coming up, so tell us a little bit about that and that event happening.
Yes, so we go back inside at the end of the month in July, and which is part of the continuation of our Studio Ghibli film series, which is new for us this year, which I'm so excited about. It's been really fun just to see people come together around Japanese anime. We're celebrating the amazing director Hayao Miyazaki, and his first film to win an Academy Award, because he just won another one this year, was Spirited Away. And this is just such an amazing film. What I love about anime in general, but certainly Miyazaki's style of storytelling, is that it's complex enough to engage film lovers of all ages, Everyone from, like they say 1 to 99, right? I watch it with my kids who were 12 and 17. They each come away with different, interpretations of what happened. I have my own interpretation, so it's great conversation starter, but beautiful just design, how he draws, the figures and, his imagination is just second to none. I mean, I was reading a review and it said it makes your mind sing, and it's so apt
Yeah.
that it takes you to places you never thought you could go. And Spirited Away is just, absolutely the, perfect example of his artistry and his style. It's about a young girl, her family is moving, and they kind of go to explore in this different part of town, and they end up in this spirit world, and her, she ends up getting trapped in this spirit world. It's like a spa for spirits to come and rejuvenate, and she's trying to get out and has to go through all of these different trials and tests. So it's kind of the hero's journey, but so many different storylines that one can remember from history and books that we grew up in, but just told in just a unique, very beautiful way. Just so thought provoking. But again, your youngest film lover and your oldest film lover alike will just be so engaged and enthralled with the story. It is PG, so certainly for film lovers of all ages. And we're really excited. We have Professor Susan Napier from Tufts University who'll be joining us after the screening to talk about the film. And she is the expert in Miyazaki in this country. I mean, she's written books. She's coming out with a new book comparing Disney to Miyazaki. And it's such an honor to be able to have her here in our community and just really break down, the artistry of Miyazaki and his stories, but just kind of, illuminate pieces that maybe you weren't aware of. A lot's going on,
Right.
but she'll kind of give some teasers in the beginning of like, here's kind of a guidepost, right? Things to look out for as you're going through the movie.
Yes.
No spoilers, of course. And in the end, just kind of bring it all together for us, which for me is just a delight. And again, just, amazing opportunity for us in our community to be able to see these great films, but also hear from folks who have spent their entire careers, really thinking deeply about kind of the meaning and the place in film history and filmography, and anime is so beautiful, and I think underappreciated in this country as just the art form that it is. Animation is one thing, anime I think is just a next level, and they all have their place. But just to really kind of put that in context will be fun. So that is on the 23rd. It's a Tuesday. That is a ticketed event. So you can go to parkcityfilm.org. It's our regular ticket pricing and special ticket price for students it's $5 for them.
Awesome.
So certainly I recommend getting your tickets in advance for that screening if you'd like to join us.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. As Katie mentioned, you can visit parkcityfilm.org to stay up to date with all the things happening this summer. Some really fun films coming up over this weekend and over the next month, of course. Katie, thank you so much for joining us and giving us the update. As always, a pleasure talking to you.
Always great to talk to you. Thanks for having me, and have a great summer.
Absolutely. Likewise. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back with more of the show after this, so stay tuned.
Are you an avid coffee lover? I know I am, but I love a delicious latte. I can never say no. And it's really hard on my bank account, but there's a great way that you could stop doing that by making a latte at home. And Kim and Ross are going to show us how to do that so we can start saving some money. Let's go into the kitchen.
We are in the kitchen for the second day in a row.
Yes.
I'm making Ross into a chef.
Yes.
He doesn't know yet, but that was part of the reason he signed up for this job.
Yeah,
Cooking lessons on air.
Yeah.
But we are actually going to I love a good holiday festive cocktail, and I traveled this past weekend, went to one of the local coffee shops, and they were all out of the festive holiday drinks. I know, can you believe it? So we are making a Starbucks dupe, or a fancy coffee shop dupe, I guess I shouldn't say Starbucks, a sugar cookie latte recipe. And the trick to that is all in the simple syrup. Did you know that?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Of course, obviously. So it's super simple. You can use an espresso or regular coffee. If you're making this at home, chances are you're probably just making a regular coffee, but we're gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna make this simple syrup. And this is where the secret ingredient kicks in. So I'll tell you all about it. With it, we've got, you've got 3 different extracts in this one. So a butter extract, and that's what's gonna make it taste like the cookie. And we've got a vanilla extract and almond extract. So 3 different extracts, 2 different kinds of sugar, and some water. It's pretty simple.
Love it. Love it. Sounds
awesome.
delicious.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, Ross, I'm going to tell you what to do, and we're going to start mixing things up in our pot to make our simple syrup. So we need about 1/4 of a cup of water to get started, and the water will be our base. So we've got a bottle of water here. I've got the man in the kitchen to open things for me. Just kidding, I could do it myself. But we're gonna pour about a half, we've got a half a cup right here, measurement style. So we'll just do about half of that with water. And then we'll pour the water in here. So looks great. We've got it, it's already heated, nice and sizzling. Next, we're gonna add our sugar. So we've got 2 different kinds of sugar. If you want to reduce some of the sugar count, you can use a monk fruit sweetener, which is actually what we're gonna do here today. We're going to do about 1/4 of a cup of this. So same thing, we're just gonna take our measuring cup and do about half of it. So no pressure.
Are we doing this monk fruit?
We're doing the monk fruit
Okay.
sweetener versus regular granulated sugar, but we will have 2 kinds of sugar in this. So just about half. Looks good to me.
Straight
We'll
in?
just dump it straight in there. Now we're gonna add a little bit of the brown sugar because if you recall, when you're making cookies from scratch, you usually have 2 kinds of sugar in it. So we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar into our mix. The tablespoons are the big ones. If you're not a big cook in the kitchen, make sure you use the biggest spoon for tablespoons. Okay,
All right, we're getting there.
We're getting there. So it's really super simple, and you just want to start like kind of just making sure that the sugar doesn't burn. We'll just do 2 of those. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super packed in there.
We're gonna be a little generous with the brown sugar.
We are, I'm okay with that. Now the next pieces are the fun ones. So we're gonna go ahead and separate this. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So vanilla is like a staple in all things baking, you know.
Yeah.
We'll do about 1 teaspoon in here. There we go, perfect. It's okay if you go a little extra, as I always say. Vanilla, you can always go a little bit overboard and it'll taste good. Then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of the butter extract, and that's what's gonna make it taste like a cookie. So just a half a teaspoon of that. There we go. And then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of the almond extract. And I love a good almond flavor when I'm baking. Sometimes I actually swap out my vanillas and my almonds and it tastes quite delicious.
It smells amazing right now.
It does, right? We're just having a little Christmas cheer over here. It's a sugar cookie latte, but I think you could really actually use it all times of the year, right? So we're just gonna stir it a little bit. You know, it really doesn't matter. Minimal tools in the kitchen if you need it. You're just gonna stir. You can see it's starting to like brown up a little bit. You just want to reduce it down, like let it thicken.
Cool.
And then this is gonna be our simple syrup.
Cool.
Now, the best part about simple syrup, making it from scratch, this will last about 2 weeks in the fridge if you wanted to keep it in the fridge. So that way you've got delicious lattes for 2 weeks long. It's probably just about the same price as buying it at a Starbucks. So I think it's a win over here. But then really super simple. You know, are you an espresso guy or are you a coffee guy?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Depends on the day.
All right. So if you were ordering, would you prefer a latte or coffee? What would you do this morning?
I like the skinny flat whites, like the small one, like
big
a
flat
little
white.
less milk, you know.
I'm about the same. So what's great about this, you can follow exact measurements to make this coffee cocktail, I guess you could call it, or you can kind of just freehand it. So we warmed up some milk. You can use any milk that you want to. So for each latte, you'd probably do about 3/4 of a cup of milk. But for you, if you prefer a little bit less, you can just do like half if you want to. And so this is starting to look really good here. We're just gonna let it simmer a little bit. And then you do about, to get a true like ratio so you can really taste the syrup, you do about 3/4 of a cup of coffee. And then like half a cup of, 3/4 of a cup of milk. And then 1/4 of a cup of coffee. So less coffee, more milk for that true latte. You can froth it up with like a little frother or steam it, whatever you've got on hand, or you can just warm it up and it tastes delicious.
Lovely.
So we'll go ahead and we got our fun Christmas coffee mugs here, or winter coffee mugs, I guess you could say, and a little bit of coffee. So we'll pour some coffee into it. Wish us luck though, it could be messy.
So we'll do about half and half.
I'll do about half and half in there, and you just want to pour that in there. As you can see, this simple syrup
look
is
at Kim,
really
don't look at me.
starting to look nice. It's browned a little bit because of the different extracts that we've got. Smells delicious. Do you smell the sugar cookie?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I also smell the coffee I just spilled all over the counter.
Hey, it's okay, you know, it's live TV, live cooking, all the deliciousness. So then once we do that, we can actually add a little bit of milk into both of them as
Okay.
well. And our milk is warm, so it's not gonna cool down the coffee. And we'll just keep stirring it here. This simple syrup is looking great. and just keep letting it kind of burn down a little bit. And you know, it's bubbling up, and that means that it's reducing. So the sugar is starting to caramelize and get a little bit thicker. That's where the water base kind of keeps it from going. Loving Ross's face. One of my favorite things about being in the kitchen with Ross is watching the outcome.
You got a little cleaning up to do after this, that's for sure.
Hey, it's like a kitchen at home, you know? It's like made with love.
That's what it is. Well, when you bake, you have to be very precise, right?
Exactly. But you know, that's the beauty of this. We're not really baking.
This is
it's
just
the latte.
Yep.
It smells like a cookie, but it's not.
Cool.
So, and then if you really want it to be sweet, and I'm like a medium sweet kind of girl.
Okay.
So typically I would do about 3 tablespoons of our simple syrup. But I don't know about you. I'm probably gonna do 2 in this latte and try it out. So what's your
I'll take whatever's left over.
Well, hopefully not too much.
No, you
Yep,
tell
it
me.
looks great to me. We're just gonna go ahead and do a couple of spoonfuls here. One there.
That was pretty, you made that look very easy. You want to do another one?
We'll do another one, why not? You know, it is pretty easy. And the best part is because our coffee's hot, we don't have to let this cool. It'll just taste quite delicious.
These are some nice mugs too.
I won't tell you where I got them, but a local artist.
Love that, love that.
By the name of Amazon.
Love that.
All right. And the best part about this is because it's the holiday season, I normally don't do whipped cream on my coffee. Yes. But we are making a delicious Starbucks dupe in a gorgeous mug. We don't have the paper cup mugs.
Yes.
I'm just going to do a little bit of whipped cream along the top. Do you want some?
There is more whipped cream than coffee right now.
Well,
And that's how I like it.
TBD. But this is what it would look like. You can add some sprinkles to it. Just quite delicious. And I think it smells so good. So
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy Tuesday. Merry Christmas.
That's amazing.
And I taste a sugar cookie.
That's sweet,
It's
yeah.
quite delicious. So if you want the recipe, obviously ping us on our Facebook page, follow us on social media, and we'll share it with you. But it's great to have at home, especially if you're hosting a large group of people. You can just make them something delicious.
That was quick.
It was quick. Quick and easy. Not all things take forever. Anyways, we'll be right back. We are just getting started with our show. I'm really glad that I have a cup of coffee to enjoy over this next couple of hours.
Yep, all right.
We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for tuning into your Friday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We love getting to be here to bring you all of this great information. I don't know about you, but that latte has made me crave one, so I'm gonna have to step into the kitchen and try and make my very own at-home latte, and we hope you do just that as well. I've been your host, Maddie Evans. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for your Saturday edition of Wasatch Weekends.